Turtle. I like turtle. I like turtle. I like turtle. I like turtle.
All right. What's up, Turtle Riders? Get out of there. Get out of there, you. Okie dokie, Turtle Riders. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? That's a little glaring there. Is that better? All right. So welcome to the Turtleboy live show. Let me just adjust my mic real quick. To this should be a little bit crisper. I want to do this back to here. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I have shared the link to this live stream on the Turtleboy Sports. Let me back this up a little bit. A little close. All right. So I've shared the link to this, guys, on the Turtleboy Sports Facebook page, the Uncle Turtleboy Facebook page, the Clarence Woods Emerson page. You should like them all. If you're not... Hold on. Did we lose you there? All right. Now what's happening? Hold on. Time out. I got to... What the heck just happened? There, that's better. Okay, cool. We'll go with that. All right. Not sure what that was, but anyway, on the Clarence Woods Emerson page, there we go. If you're not liking all those pages, you're dead to me. Also, go follow me on Twitter. I've shared it on Twitter. I've tweeted it out at Dr. Turtleboy. You can also follow me on Twitter at Turtleboy Phone. I'm almost at 5,000 followers on Twitter. I don't know who I have to please around here, what I have to do to get some Twitter followers. So get on there, follow it, and we will be all good. Do I have the right audio on here? Nope. Oh, yeah, we do. Okay. All right. So I think that about covers it. We're about ready to hop into this. So let's just get this party started. I had yesterday was the debate, the big debate. I don't know if you call it debate or candidates forum, whatever. I don't know if you guys watched this thing, but if you didn't get a chance to watch it, we're going to kind of rewatch some of this stuff. So if you're unfamiliar, I'm running for a seat on the Wachusett Regional School Committee from the town of Holden. There's 22 seats on this board. And the big reason that I'm running more than anything, I'll show you in a quick video right here. Pull this up, share screen. This is, people ask me why I'm running. This is why I'm running. Let me get the mic. Here.
Recommend the delay of hybrid reopening for no sooner than January 19th, 2021.
This is a November 17th, I want to say, school committee meeting. Schools were supposed to open the next day. It was supposed to be the first day of kindergarten. And then they had this special meeting. And they're like, should we postpone it till January 19th? Because cases were up. Remember cases were up? Oh, no, not cases. As if that matters at all. Oh, thank you, Lyle. By the way, yeah. Can you fix the proceed? Okay, I'll check it out. If you guys would like to donate to the program, because this is kind of how I make a living now, there is a $1 cash sign there. Feel free to smash that thing. And I will graciously, and when you do that, that's called Super Chat. A message comes up. It's like a billboard. You can write whatever the heck you want. A message, you'll shout out to your shorty, whoever, your girlfriend, your side girlfriend, whatever you got going on, or you can just, if you don't like somebody, you can call them out. I have no control over that. So whatever you want to put on there, it's up to you. So this was on November, I think 17th, the day before schools were to open, and they are going to ask all 22 members of the school committee, do you want to go into school tomorrow? Like, are we going to reopen the schools or are we going to delay it? Here we go.
2021. We're going to have a roll call vote on this. Member Ayala?
Ayala, yes.
Okay, they're going to delay it. Yes.
Member Bennett? Bennett, yes.
2.
Member Brown?
Brown, yes.
3, got to go.
Dennis?
Dennis, no.
Okay, there's one of the good ones.
Gustafson, yes.
4.
Member Haber?
Haber, yes.
5.
Member Kirschenbaum?
Kirschenbaum, yes.
6. There's another
Member
Holden
LaVoy.
one.
LaVoy, no.
He's
Thank
one of the
you.
good ones. He's from
Member
Rutland.
Longbelill?
Longbelill, no.
She's voting on my running
Member
against.
Mills?
I'm
No.
on the fence with her. He votes no. That's
Member
7.
Mitchell?
Mitchell, yes.
8,
Member Otmar?
Omar, yes.
9,
Member Shapiro?
Shapiro, yes.
10.
Member Silva?
Could you please clarify again?
Oh,
I just want
God.
to be very clear that
Oh,
I understood
Jesus.
it correctly.
Yeah, Asima, so we're voting to delay the start of school until at least January 19th, 2021.
Silva, yes.
Yes.
Member
11.
Smith?
Smith, yes.
12,
Member Williamson?
Williamson, yes.
13,
Member Woodland?
Woodland, yes.
14,
Member Young?
Young, yes.
15.
And the chair abstains. The motion passes.
There you go. There's 4 people that voted to go back to school. That's it. It's unacceptable. That's why I'm running for school committee. They did that the day before schools were set to open. Now, again, there's no reason for any school districts in Massachusetts or this entire country to have been closed. Kids were never susceptible to the virus. There's no evidence to show they were asymptomatic spreaders. The only reason to close schools down was because adults were afraid of a virus. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is cowardly. First of all, there was nothing to be afraid of. This virus has a 99.9% recovery rate. There were adequate things you could have done. Like, so if you had a grandmother or whatever, like, oh, I live, something, my grandmother's could get it. Just don't go near grandma. I'm sorry. Schools reopening is more important than you seeing grandma. It just is. Or you stay at home with your kids. Okay. You teach them, do homeschool for a year, and then you can see grandma. But it doesn't spread in school anyway. There was literally no reason for this. And there should be no masks either. I'm sorry. I get on this the school committee. We're going to get rid of the mask. No more masks. These performative theater out there. There's absolutely no reason for it. The teachers are all vaccinated. So what do you need a mask for? Okay. Masks don't even work anyway. Needs to go. So there was no reason for any school district anywhere to shut down schools. Kids were suffering because of this. The kid in Fall River. Let's never forget the kid in Fall River. Starved to death. Because his schools wouldn't open because his teachers were afraid of an virus. They killed that kid. The Fall River Teachers Association should be charged with murder, in my opinion, or accessory to it, because they got that kid killed. If they had done their job and gone to school, but because they were afraid of a virus, they let this kid literally starve to death. Never forget that. That kid died because of them. Okay? Like, let's not gloss over that. I feel like that's not being made big a deal enough. Other kids all across the country, right? We're suffering from chronic mental health problems, isolation, social isolation. Kids had developmental problems. Failure rates in Wachusett and lots of other school districts have gone through the roof. Thank you very much, Suzanne. She sent money to Cash App. You can do Cash App or you can do that. Cash App doesn't charge. That's good. So my Cash App is $ Uncle Turtleboy if you're into that. So anyway, thank you for noticing the Bluey shirt. My kid is so into the show. It's like his favorite show. So we got them all. Anyway, back to this whole thing. So Wachusett is just like any other school district that shut down, and that's why I'm running. And I would encourage others to as well. Okay, get proactive. Don't accept this. Now, if you saw Biden's speech last night, they're all talking, oh, we're getting back to normal. We're going to be 100% open soon, blah, blah, blah. And what they're going to want you to do is forget that this all happened. Don't forget this. They hurt your children. They hurt our children. And they don't get a free pass on that because things are going back to normal now because they're allowing it to. Don't give them a free pass on that one. Anybody who voted not to return to schools, anyone on your school board needs to go. They're a tyrant. They don't care about children. They intentionally hurt them because they were an adult afraid of a virus. So they got to go, period. End of story. So that is why I'm running. And let's talk about the meeting that happened last night. Okay, let's start from the top here. I don't know if you guys saw it. I feel weird watching my opening statement, but let's watch it. Let's see what happens. Share screen. So I get there and there's all 6 candidates are there and everybody's got the mask on at first. And I go to actually shake hands with George Kaminski, this nice Russian guy who is running for school committee. Was American, but you know, he's got a little accent, which is cool. I like Russian people. And I shake his hand. I shake Barry's hand. I've met him before. I've never met the other three before. And I go to shake Linda, Sam, and Garrett's hand, and she wouldn't shake my hand. She did this thing. Yeah. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. We're off to a rough start. We're off. Did I miss the part where COVID spreads through handshakes? Did I miss some? I thought it was an oral thing. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought we were following the science, but I think Biden sets the tone with this. Like he walks that nonsense that happened at the whatever that was last night. You know, they get there and everybody in the room is vaccinated and they're still spread 6 feet apart. They're still wearing masks and they're still not shaking hands or doing this thing. It's just so performative. It's ridiculous. God. So anyway, I don't know how it started, but the Chamber of Commerce put this on. This woman from the Chamber of Commerce and this other guy who used to be involved in town politics. And I think she's like, I'm going to take my mask off. You guys can do whatever you're comfortable with. Because I was hot in there. I'm like, I don't want to wear this mask during this thing. And quite frankly, I don't care if it makes people feel uncomfortable because you're the one with the unscientific fear here, non-science-based fear of a disease, and you believe this mask works for some reason, and I'm just done playing along with it. So I took mine off, and 4 of the others took theirs off. Asima Silva did not. She is one of the incumbents in this. There's of the 6 candidates for 3 spots, 2 are incumbents. All 3 men are challengers, and Linda, Sam, and Garrett is also a challenger. Okay. Now, what I did not realize was that there is like a concerted effort here that I was unaware of, and I'll show you it. Let me show you this thing I got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me pull this up first, actually, before we watch the video. Okay, stop screen, share screen, and boom. Zoom in. All right. So the Holden Democratic Town Committee shares on their Facebook page. They say, don't forget school committee meeting, candidate forum tonight at whatever, at 6. And then this response, there was one scary guy. I'm scary. I'm just, how am I scary? I'm wearing a shirt that says dad on it. Like, what are you scared of? I don't bite. I'm just a guy who wants his kids to get a good education. I'm against racism. I'm really against racism. I just want everybody to have a quality public education and not be brainwashed during that time. I know this is scary to you people because I don't know. Was it my tone? Did I talk too fast? I scared this one. Poor Susan is sitting in her house in Holden somewhere right now, watching this debate over again. She's curled up in a ball and she's like, I'm so scared of that guy. Oh my God. If he gets on the school committee, what am I going to do? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh no. Oh no. They're going to get rid of critical race theory. And what am I going to do then? Oh my God. Lord Jesus, help me. Poor Susan. Give her a break, guys. Justin Vigent says, definitely don't know which 3 I'll be supporting on 510. Yeah, I think we do. And so there is a concerted effort here. So I go to this one woman's page, Mary Catherine, and she's got, and I didn't know this graphic existed. And she says, you may not have heard Turtleboy is running for school committee in Holden. Please vote. So the word is starting to get out now. Now, this is not a partisan election. I don't know why the Democratic Town Committee is getting involved in this, but they are. So they're going to put a concerted effort to keep not only me out, but the 2 other men out. And the 2 other men are like that guy, Barry. He's just like a regular dad who's just concerned that like he was one of the many parents in this district who was pissed off that, you know, there was no communication about the schools opening. His wife is actually a nurse, knows what she's talking about, has spoken a couple meetings, and they just ignored them. So that's why he's kind of running, and he's into the budget. He knows a lot about that, etc. George is like an intellectual. He is a professor at WPI, very sharp guy into science, and has no use for critical race theory or any of that stuff. And so they're just going with Asima Silva, who is our the woman who thought 10,000 kids died of COVID in Massachusetts. Insane. Linda, Sam, and Garrett, who has run for office before and lost, and Laura, Sam, and Garrett, apologize, and Linda Long Ball, Long Bellil, I apologize, who was been on the committee for a bit. And we're going to see she's wishy-washy on some stuff, but they're all Democrats. So they're all just endorsing them. So there's like a group thing. So it's us three against them three. That's the way I view this. Like, look at this, guys. They're so horrified. That is incredibly horrifying. That man wants to help kids learn. I'm so horrified by that. This poor guy. I have heard Asima Silva speak. She is great. And as one Turtle writer points out, she claimed 10,000 kids died and voted against school reopening, but also stated they didn't open soon enough during the debate. Might want to do some research. Okay. His response is great. These people, when they're confronted with facts, dare I ask who Turtleboy is? Oh, thank you, Double M, 99. Thank you very much. Says, who is Turtleboy? Our local troll. Troll is putting it nicely. I don't know his real name, so as not to vote for him. Okay, so there is a concerted effort to get Turtleboy out of here. They do not want me leading the public schools. So let's watch my opening statement from last night if you didn't see this.
Good evening. I want to thank you all for tuning in to tonight's candidates.
Can you guys hear that?
I'm Jen Stanovich. I'm with the Wachusett Area Chamber of Commerce, and we are very pleased to be sponsoring this community event. I want to thank Holden Community Television. They are live streaming this as we speak, and they will be running it many times before the May 10th election. For those of you who have cable at home, you can watch it on channel 191. We have six candidates serving.
A parent.
All right, here we go.
She would not. With that,
Here we
we
go.
have our 3-minute opening statements, and we will begin with Mr. Kearney.
Of course, I draw number
Good evening,
one.
thank you for having me. My name is Aidan Kearney, and I'm running for school committee because our kids deserve better.
I had to talk so
I'm the
fast.
father of a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old kindergarten student at Davis Hill, and I'm running because the school committee in the last year has shown us they do not have the best interest of our children at heart. I've lived most of my life in Worcester, but like many of you, I've moved to Holden because of the stellar reputation of the schools. But we've yet to see that because the current school committee has failed our children. My 5-year-old daughter was so excited about going to kindergarten this year, but I had to tell her in September that unlike kids in other towns, she would not be attending school in person.
Sad.
Instead, they put hundreds of kids just like her in front of Chromebooks in their bedrooms, and they called it an education.
Not good.
She had no friends because she'd never been to school before. Other kids to her were nothing but faces on a computer screen who
Sad.
she wanted to talk to and play with, but could not.
Oh,
Although her teacher has done an amazing job adjusting,
true.
this was never an acceptable alternative and should not have been.
Correct.
In order to protect children from a virus that posed no threat to them, we allow them to suffer in isolation and watch their mental health deteriorate. But this did not need to happen. Closing schools was the easy and lazy solution. It required no imagination, no creativity. We had months to figure out a solution. But instead of doing that, the school committee was hosting meetings, debating whether or not the Mountaineer mascot was offensive.
What?
And determining whether or not we should ban Christmas decorations in schools, which never opened before Christmas anyway.
That's weird.
Prior to the meetings to close schools, I called all 10 members of the Holden School Committee
True.
to express my concerns, and only member Dennis called me back.
Not good.
The concerns of parents were clearly not important to this board, which was made even more evident at a meeting when a member said that although 80% of parents voted to return to school, they did so, quote unquote, under duress. This condescending attitude is all the evidence you need to know that this current school committee does not represent the parents in Holden. My emails to the superintendent have gone unreturned, but we all did receive an email from Dr. McCall in June
Oh, this
announcing that
email
he
was so
quote,
bad.
racially privileged, which shouldn't be acceptable, unquote.
Pathetic.
But closing schools and hurting
Pathetic.
children was acceptable for Dr. McCall, and lecturing working class parents who had to quit their job about their privilege was his priority. I'm running because they delayed reopening in November as planned, and I had to tell my daughter a day before her first day of kindergarten that she wouldn't be going. They didn't care about working class parents who had to quit their jobs or shell out thousands of dollars to go to learning pods.
Preach.
And now they will ask these same parents for an override to pay for a budget because they couldn't manage it reasonably.
Nope.
I'm running because I heard a member running for re-election state during a meeting in December that 10,000 children have died from COVID in Massachusetts.
What?
A complete fabrication.
Is that true?
Anyone this misinformed about the pandemic has no business controlling educational opportunities for our children. I'm running because the school committee deferred to an unelected insurance adjuster from Paxton, chosen by Dr. McCall, masquerading as a health expert who told them it was not safe to reopen. According to the school committee's own policy, their purpose is to, quote, advocate for the good of the students in the community. They have failed to do that. This is why I'm running.
Boom, roasted.
Next,
That's how it's done, folks. That's how you debate. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I came across as like talking too fast or whatever, or uptight. I'm like looking at the postures of everybody else. Everybody else looked kind of relaxed, and I'm like noticing I'm like tense the whole time because that's just how I am. Like I'm like really passionate about this stuff. I'm mad. I'm an angry parent who's had enough of this nonsense and enough of the bullshit, and I'm not taking it anymore. And because I feel like I speak for a lot of people out there that was just like, are you kidding me? You guys don't represent us. You're so out of touch. Like, people are upset about this. Like, people had to literally quit their jobs, send their kids to learning pods, pay thousands of dollars, send their kids to private school. It was unacceptable. And they just don't get it. They just don't get it. Anyway, so that was that. So let's listen to Asima Silva. So again, you heard her. She was one of the people who voted to close the schools. Here's her opening statement.
Thank you. My name is Asima Silva, and I've been serving on the school committee of the kids, which is second. For example, bullying policy, especially in this current situation, health policies.
Is that
for these reasons, I did
loud
vote to
enough?
keep our students remote until metrics were shared with the school committee and buildings were up to standards, such as air circulation, hall traffic planning, bathroom and mask breaks and seating, and etc. Third, culture, diversity in its many forms,
Diversity.
and inclusion. I will be honored to represent Holden as your school committee representative.
Thank you, Ms. Silva. Next up, Ms. Salmon Garrett.
So as soon as I hear that like your number one concern is like diversity, what does that mean? My issue is diverse. Like who? What? We live in a town. We live in towns that are like not very diverse at all. Like, so what do you? Thank you very much, KPL Day. Like, so what are you saying? Like, do you want to bus kids in from Worcester? Like, what do you? Just say it. Like, be honest. Say what you're saying. Like, because all this verbal nonsense about like my number one. Imagine how out of touch you have to be with reality if after the schools shut down and all these parents couldn't go to work and had to shell out all this money and these kids suffered. Imagine getting up there and saying that your number one issue is diversity. Imagine that. Who does that resonate with? Like what normal person is out there like, you know what? The schools really screwed us over and my kids couldn't like get an education or anything, but that sucked, but not as bad as the lack of diversity. That's the real problem. God, what's wrong with these people? Anyway, I think she said in there something about like advanced courses is like one of her big issues. Let me see if I can find that part. Okay, yeah, she said that advanced courses is like something that she's very concerned about. The lack of like that Wachusett's falling behind or something like that. Well, let me show you something here. A little headline I found. Okay. This is what critical race theory looks like in action, folks. Talk about advanced whatever. The big word with critical race theory is equity. They're going to throw that word around a lot. And it's important to understand the difference between equity and equality. Equality means equal opportunity. Equity means the equality of outcomes. So essentially what equity means is socialism. Because everybody will be equal at the end of the day. And whatever it takes to achieve that, we will do. We will achieve equity. Equality means that like you all have the same rights and then go do what you can do with those rights. Like make the best of it. That's equality. You're not all going to end up in the same place though with equality. And so when they say equity, this is what it looks like. In the Boston public schools, they suspended tests for advanced learning classes. Okay, over concerns about the program's racial inequities. In other words, the Boston public schools had a test for advanced learning classes and there were too many white and Asian kids passing it. That was the problem. And when you have that, it's not equitable. It's inequitable because you're not going to have a proportional amount of Black and Latino students in there. So that's what critical race theory looks like. When they say equity, this is what it looks like. You are getting rid of an advanced learning thing because it's not fair. They're going to start critical race theory will eventually get rid of all advanced placement courses. They will no longer be that. There will no longer be any sort of stratification in schools anywhere. There won't be any honors classes. There won't be anything. Why? Because you don't have equity in them. There's too many white and Asian kids in the higher level courses. They're going to get rid of them. These people, Asima, Silva, they don't know what they're talking about. They literally don't know anything. They're just like, this sounds good. Equity is a cool word. I'll just say, I'm for equity. Yeah. You for equity? Yeah, definitely. All equity all day. So this is what it looks like in action, though, when they say, so when she's in there and she's talking about, well, there aren't enough, Wachusett used to be higher in rankings, and we used to have, we need more advanced whatever. It's like, no, you're against that. Don't you get it? Everything you believe in, all the stuff you're saying goes against that. And you're just not smart enough or not well-read enough to realize that. So back to the tape. Let's go back to the tape. Okie dokie. No, we want this one. All right. So let me fast forward here to the part around, do we want to go to the part where they start? Let's just keep watching. Let's see. So this is the opening lines.
My name is Lauren Salmon Garrett, and I'm running for.
What'd you guys think of this woman, Lauren Salmon Garrett?
I've lived in Holden
Thoughts?
for 15 years with my husband and 3 children who currently attend district schools. If elected, I will have 1 child at Mayo Elementary, 1 at Mountview, and 1 at Wachusett Regional High School for 2 years of my
So
term.
this woman,
This will give me a unique
I'm sure she's a great person. Nothing against her personally. She is your typical person who runs for school committee and gets elected in your town. Probably follows Tracy Novick on Twitter, I'm guessing. Came up with a stack of cards with budget numbers and where we rank in the state and per pupil expenditures and all this stuff. Okay. These are the kind of people that has been involved in academia for most of her life. These are the kind of people who run for school committee, and therein lies the problem. We need people who are not insulated in the world of academia to run for school committees to get an outsider's perspective. Right. So she doesn't know why she's running. Yeah. A lot of these people didn't. And I don't really understand why some of these people are running. Now, George was great. You guys like George? What'd you think of him? Let me see. Sharp guy. Play his part.
school committee will be an integral part of what.
Thank you. Mr. Kaminski.
Can you guys hear that?
Good evening. My name is George Kaminski. I'm running for the school committee. We live in Holden. We have a son in the middle school. We have a son in the high school. We have another son who's been to college already. So we're no strangers to this town, to this district, and to Holden.
A little louder.
In general. I believe we have a great school district. Saying this lightly, I think it's
actually, I'll come back to him later. He had some good marks later. I'm going to get to the line of questioning because I was first up and they asked me about
facts and data.
Their education.
Oh yeah, here's the part I want to play.
Our kids and our.
My
Okay.
name's Linda Long Bellil, and I'm running to represent Holden on the school committee. The schools, like many families, were a big draw for us when my husband and I moved to Holden with our son in 2008. Having spent most of my own K through 12 years in an under-resourced school system, I understand the value of a good education. And I was determined that our son would have the kind of quality education that every child deserves.
All right, let me fast forward to the good parts.
Continue with our early.
Forced on us by the state, and that would be reopened.
So I had the first
What is the
one, and my
single
issue was
that you
critical
intend to
race theory, and I
pursue
brought it up.
elected?
And I'll skip my part. You guys might have heard this already. I just want to get to the other people.
In the public schools, I was, and so believe that is the.
But
Okay,
believe
so
that
here
is the
she goes
function
about
of the
this
public
topic.
schools.
About what's your biggest issue,
Thank
Asima?
you. Ms. Silva, what is the single issue that you intend to pursue most if elected?
Diversity.
That I kind of started outlining that in my statement. The single most issue, I think it's a little hard to answer, but if I had to choose, it would either be diversity or educational quality.
Oh,
And what
okay.
I mean by that is I just received one of the links to a news report where they ranked all of United States high schools,
Oh, God.
especially the ones in Massachusetts. In Massachusetts, I remember at least when I was growing up and I was in Wachusett, we excelled over Shrewsbury High School.
What?
And currently, if you look at the year today, Shrewsbury was listed as number 24 and some 300 something in the nation, versus Wachusett was listed as number 97 and almost 1,300 in the nation.
Like, what does that even mean? We're ranked 97. What are these rankings? This is not the advanced. This is not college football. There's no rankings. What are you talking about? Rankings. Who cares about rankings? Like, we were behind. We were above Shrewsbury in the 90s, and now we're behind. What does that even mean? I don't think she knows what it means. She's like, somebody just sent her a link, and she's like, oh man, we're ranked low. That's not good. What? Who cares? What?
Which we have really dropped very further down. So I would say picking up our educational ranking and our educational quality in this
Thank you, Sonny.
community.
They're literally made up.
Ms. Salmon, Garrett,
That's your big issue.
Do you
Like,
intend to pursue?
that
most
sums
if
her up
elected?
right there.
I believe it's twofold. I really believe that we have some communication issues in this district, and I believe that a lot of them have to do with the budget. I watch a lot of school committee meetings, and I also watch a lot of Board of Selectmen meetings.
Exactly.
And when I watch both of these meetings, it's very clear to me that there is a big lack of communication between the two sides. I was excited to hear Mr. Challenger say at the last Board of Selectmen meeting that from the Finance Committee that he had been invited to a subcommittee meeting, a finance subcommittee meeting.
Okay, I'm going to skip this part.
Coming in, that's
I'm going to get to the part where,
It's the
okay,
improving
this part.
financial oversight and working with the towns. It's not
So listen
easy.
to what she says here.
The state essentially pitches.
And this is why I'm not a fan of her.
Districts against each other, and it's a very frustrating situation for everyone concerned. It's something we have to keep working at. I do want to say just a word about diversity. I do think that's an important issue. I don't think kids are as critical of their teachers as they are concerned about some of the things that are said to them, and some of the assumptions that at times are made about them. And something interesting I found.
So she's so I had brought up earlier how there was a subcommittee meeting where they just read off emails that kids sent in. It was like a burn book. They would send in anonymous emails about how racist their teachers were or something like that. Remember the part where she was the only one who forgot what the question? Yeah, that happened a lot. So, there was this subcommittee meeting where all these kids basically just trashed their teachers. And she's like, what did she say? What was her exact words here? Let me play that again one more time.
Important issue. I don't think kids are as critical of their teachers as they are concerned about some of the things that are said to them. So she says that kids are not trashing their teachers. Okay. Well, let's listen to that subcommittee meeting. Let's go to the tape because you guys know I like receipts, right? So let me bring up some receipts here. Let's go exit out of this one and go to this one over here. And let us go to the part right around. I got this locked up here. The 16:30. Let's see what this kid says at the 16:30 mark about his teachers.
Anonymous senior at Wachusett. Racism and racist language is far too common at Wachusett. As a white student, I have been told to put some pants on the N-word by a group of laughing boys when I quietly walked on the school sidewalks wearing shorts. I've heard my classmates scream the N-word in the cafeteria and receive no discipline, despite the multiple adults within earshot. One of my friends immigrated to America when she was in elementary school. Within her first week at Wachusett, she heard the boy next to her joking suggest that she should line up all of the immigrants, legal or illegal, and shoot them in the head. I imagine a person you just met suggesting that you and your family should be murdered. This conversation happened directly in front of the teacher. No one said anything.
Okay, so they're not trashing their teachers. They're just concerned, right? No, that's exactly what this was. This is a meeting, a forum, a state-sanctioned event, a town-sanctioned event, where kids just get to call up and trash their teachers. Just say like, imagine, if a teacher actually did that, if a teacher heard a kid say, we need to line up all the immigrants and shoot them in the head, and the teacher is like, that's cool. I'm not going to do anything about that. That's cool. You could say that around me. Then that would be a pretty bad teacher, wouldn't it? Right? So they're literally trashing the teachers. And here you have this woman, Linda Longblair. I don't think that's what they're doing. Kids were just expressing themselves. No! Open your eyes and open your ears. They are trashing your teachers, our teachers in this district who you allegedly support. And you're allowing these kids, anonymous kids, mind you, to tell unverified anecdotes And you are slandering them as a result of this. Shame on you. Shame on you. Yeah, it's good that you voted to open schools, but this is why you're no good. This is why the Democratic Committee is endorsing you, is because of this. Okay, here's another comment around the 1945 mark. Let me play this, Mark.
That the minority races and other groups have faced throughout history, and of course, why these actions are wrong. Personally, I only know of one Black teacher at the high school. I know that the school has to hire whoever they find to teach the positions needed, but many underclassmen of color that I have talked to wish that they had more teachers like them that they can go to for support in the high school where the majority of students are white. I think that WRHS wanting to form a club or a...
Okay, so teachers like them. So the white teachers are not good enough for these kids, right? And there's critical race theory. Identity is everything in critical race theory. If a white teacher cannot understand you because you're not white, a Black teacher can't understand you because you're not Black. They'll never know what it's like to be you because your race is everything. Literally everything in the world revolves around race. Does that sound healthy? If a kid goes up and is like, I can't talk to these teachers, they're too white. They're too white. No, that's racist. That's what we should be telling those kids. They're just human beings, okay? They're just human beings. Talk to them. White people are just like Black people, okay? Talk to them. If you tell them, like, somebody said something racist to me, the white teacher can help you just as much as the Black teacher. Stop it. What else contradicted what she said here? Oh, here. And so here is how the school committee themselves reacted to this. And this is what really pissed me off. So here's another member from Sterling talking about this.
And hopefully spur action. But I also wanted to thank our student rep for collecting all of that. It is, I'm sure, quite a bit of emotional labor aside from the actual task itself. But I am very curious to hear the number of statements where administration or other staff didn't respond to things happening in front of them. And that's, I feel, one of the big questions I have of what's going on. But that's from my perspective.
I mean, that's what leadership looks like in the Wachusett Regional School District. She can't even put a sentence together. She's like, so she heard kids say that kids are saying racist things in front of them about shooting immigrants. She heard them say that the teachers did nothing about it. Now she's like, I'm really concerned about this. So she's concerned that the teachers in the Wachusett Regional School District are just letting kids talk about murdering each other for being Black. That she believed that. She didn't question it. She didn't ask, who's the teacher? What happened? She just took an anonymous email at face value and is now attempting to create policy based off of that. That is madness. That is insane. That is the children running the schools instead of the adults. You're supposed to be the adult in this room. You should ask for verification before you just go around whatever. Okay. But like, well, did you report this? Okay. What day did this happen? Who was the teacher it happened? Let's talk to that teacher. Let's see if this is true. Let's hear their side of the story. None of that happened. This is gross. This is disgusting. Again, this happened while our schools were closed too. Okay, here's another member at the 109 mark. Let me pull this up. And what he says about it.
Work. Not going to go with that because good ideas all around. But I hate the idea. I hate the idea that there are kids right now, or when school starts, who are going to want that, or people are going to behave in these ways. And people are just going to stand by, and by people I mean administrators, teachers, people standing by and just allowing that. I mean, that simply can't happen. That's it. Thanks.
That teachers are just allowing this to happen. They're shitting on the teachers. Do they not see this? You're shitting on them. You're not you. Children are shitting on them, and you're allowing this to happen. You're blindly believing them. Shame on these people. This is gross. This is disgusting. And of course, Asima Silva had something to say about that too. Let's see what she had to say about this.
Comments were made, but they were ignored. And what I'm assuming is maybe some of these teachers didn't think it was something that should have been reported, or was or was something that was drastic enough to report. So making it clear of what actions should be reported and encouraged to be reported. And lastly, I also want, as one of our goals, is to not only talk about the curriculum, but to talk about what kind of education are we giving the students and the teachers and administrators. I know you just talked about one of the presentations that just happened, but these are like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different topics that we just outlined as topics that I see as a theme going on in some of the comments that we're hearing.
Okay, so this is like, she's just like, well, that's unacceptable that could happen. So this lies that they're telling you up there that, oh, they never said this. We never let the kids shit on the teachers. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Both Linda Long Bellil and Asima Silva are on this subcommittee. Oh, yes, you did. And it's all on tape. And I got the receipts. Boom, roasted. Next part of the meeting we're going to go to here. The 3430 part of the last night's little powwow. Excuse me. Where are they at in the NFL draft right now? Anybody know? What part are we on? Are the Patriots close to picking? Who's on the clock? Pick number 13. Did we go? What number pick do we have? Time out. We got to figure this out real quick. We're on pick number. I'm trying to watch my ESPN ticker here. I know it's not the Lions are not up, right? Time out. What number pick we got? Are we going to get Aaron Rodgers? We're at 15. So that's coming soon. So remind me of that. Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate that. Remind me of that. So we got pick number 15 and we're on 13 right now. We're on 12. Okay, we're on 12. All right. Anyway, let's carry on with this. So we are on part. Let me go to the 3430 part of this where Asima Silva talks about something.
With K through 2 and just have the kindergartners have never stepped foot in that school. Why couldn't they just open it for them at first? Kindergartners and first graders.
That was another thing I brought up. I'm like, you couldn't, like, all across the state. Okay, so the social distancing, so you can't have everybody back. So what every school should have done, first of all, they should have reopened. But if you're going to do this whole like social distancing nonsense, whatever the youngest grade is at every school, they go back first because they've never been in the school. What better way to get oriented to the school than to have it to yourself, right? Imagine it was just like freshmen only for a month in high school. That'd be so much less intimidating, wouldn't it? Like my first day of high school, I was nervous as shit. There was nothing to be nervous about, but like you were, because you're like a 14-year-old and you're like, these kids are driving into school and stuff like that. Like first day of high school is like butterflies in your stomach. Middle school was the same way. So like middle school in this town starts in 6th grade. So just send the 6th graders in. Send the 6th graders, the 9th graders, and the kindergartners in, period. Something's better than nothing. But there was no creativity. Like come up with something. You're the adult, figure it out. Don't you? Closing the schools was so lazy. It's just like, well, we can't think of anything else. So just throw them in front of a Chromebook. That's an education, right? That counts. No, it doesn't.
There was no thought going into this. There was no creativity, and that is my big issue. It was so much easier to close.
All right, so here she goes here.
And finally, Ms. Silva, 30 seconds on the same topic.
Yes, to reiterate, we could have opened a lot earlier. We really needed leadership that thought out of the box and provided metrics, just like all of.
So the question was, did we open up too early, too late, or on time? We could have opened up earlier, but what we needed, what did she say?
Going into this, there was no creativity, and that is my big issue. It was so much easier to close.
Thank you. And finally, Ms. Silva, 30 seconds on the same topic.
Yes, to reiterate, we could have opened a lot earlier. We really needed leadership that thought out of the box and provided metrics, just like all other school systems did.
Time out. We needed you are leadership. Do you not understand that? You're the leader. You're the school committee. You hire the superintendent. You're in charge. Don't you get that? She actually had the audacity to say we should have opened up earlier. Actually, I'll just show you this part. Let me show you over here. I got the whole thing queued up. This clip of it. Check this out. All right, check this out.
Return to in-person classes too soon or waited just the right amount of time, and why?
That's a great question. I believe we could have actually been in person much earlier on if we had the metrics.
The graphs that you had when you said 10,000 deaths of students.
So her issue was we could have opened up earlier if we had the metrics. What the hell are the metrics? What do you mean? All the data was out there. All the data was out there showing that, like, there's nothing to worry about, right? There's nothing to worry about. We are in a low area for transmission. Schools are safe. They're open in other countries. They're open in other states. And there's no super spreaders going on. Everything's cool. You can open back up, but we don't have the metrics. Literally, the metrics were provided at meetings, right? And they showed a graph showing the number of kids in the state who had contracted it. And the graph said that like 10,000 kids in Massachusetts had gotten COVID, which means nothing because kids don't die from COVID. Thank God. And this is what she says. So she's saying that, well, we could have opened, but you didn't give me the metrics. Here she is at a meeting in December.
Between ages of 0 to 20, you had, when you said 10,000 deaths of students between ages of 0 to 20, what was the pool of that? Was that Worcester County? Was that Massachusetts?
Deaths.
What was where did that number come from?
That's Massachusetts. That's a state.
And he doesn't correct it.
And you know, as we read all the comments of this before this meeting started, I do agree with the social and emotional part of the kids returning back to school. But this is where my hesitation comes from seeing those numbers. I really ask myself, what is a social and emotional aspect of a child who might be one of those numbers, God forbid, or their teacher becomes one of those numbers, God forbid. So as much as we talk.
So she's like, they were talking about the social and emotional effects of not going to school, of remote learning. And she's like, yeah, but what about the social and emotional effects of dying? Of what if a kid dies from COVID? Oh my God. Oh my God. Imagine that. Everyone's going to die. That's all these people do. They literally, it's like the data's right in front of you. You're clearly not smart enough to read a chart or do any basic research to find out that zero kids in Massachusetts die from COVID. Zero. It's all readily available. Anyone can find this information out. The fact that you feel the need to be fed the metrics on a silver platter because you're so ignorant and incapable of just looking it up yourself proves how disqualified you are. That's a lie. You just flat out lied when you said that they did not give you the metrics. And you have the audacity after voting against opening schools to get up there and be like, we should have opened up earlier. We didn't forget. And I'm here to make sure parents didn't forget that.
Talk about social and emotional aspect of our kids and needing to go back to school to interact with their teachers and their classmates. I go back to a graph like that. And as everyone knows, I've had a really hard family case with COVID that, ended up in the most horrible manner. And I ask myself, can a student and a teacher ask themselves, they can watch a loved one literally suffocating to death. And that really concerns me. That graph, as much as we say it's only 10,000, that's 10,000 too many.
10,000 too many dead kids. She actually said this. Those are our leaders, folks. And I bet you there's people just as dumb as that in your towns. And you should be watching your local school committee because this is nonsense. You're probably governed by morons because most of us are. So back to this candidates forum. All right, let me see where we're at. Nope, I don't want that one. I want this one. Stop. Share. Oh, there it is. And Matt, like Giannetti's a perfect example, right? So Giannetti's here. That's great. Imagine Giannetti's kid was old enough to go to school and she had to do remote learning with Mike Giannetti. That happens. That's the way a lot of homes were. That was home for them. That's scary. Schools were a refuge for some of these kids, and we took that away from them Shame on us. All right, so let me go to the part here. Let's talk the police officers part.
Unfortunately, our kids suffered. And I think, as Leah and Linda said, we need to move forward and fill in the gaps and get our kids back on.
So they're going to ask about
that
cops.
they were supposed to be at.
Cops in school.
Thank you. Our third question will begin with Ms. Salmon Garrett. And the question is, do you believe that a school resource officer, i.e. police officer, should be present in Wachusett Regional Schools? Yes or no, and why?
As the daughter of a police officer, I don't believe that police officers belong at the Wachusett Regional High School. In those statements.
Oh, wait,
that have
can you
been
guys not
mentioned
hear this?
multiple
Do I have the wrong
times
thing
that,
up?
Many students made to the school
Time out.
committee. There was some mention.
I just realized we have the wrong video up, don't I? Could you guys hear that? Hold on. Why do I keep picking that one? Get out of here then. All right, give me this one. Okay, let me play that again. She goes basically, no, I don't think we need cops.
As the daughter of a police officer, I don't believe that police officers belong at the Wachusett Regional High School. In those statements that have been mentioned multiple times that many students made to the school committee, there was some mention of the school resource officer, and by just general bias, often they believed that students of color were often followed and targeted more than other students.
Oh, okay. So they believe that she does not want cops in schools. She doesn't want cops in schools because she believes the racist Holden police officer assigned to the school is following around the black kids and just picking on them. Where is she hearing this from? What evidence do you have of that? What data do you have to back any of that up? Oh, that's right. Let's find out where she heard that from. Let's see where she heard that from. Let me pull up this. Let me jump to the 34:15 mark here. Where did she learn something like that from?
And her friends proceeded to kick. This year, with everything going on with Black Lives Matter movement, the racism at the school has become even more clear. A student, in answering a question about how we can solve police brutality, said, well, having a black male dead is as normal as most black people are the ones to commit the crime.
What?
They have been given themselves that, and this is their fault. They can change their ways of being who they are.
What?
Administration has proven to be horrible in dealing with these issues as well. In the whole situation, my senior year administration did barely anything to punish the girl who said all the racist comments. And they also still punished the girl who received the comments, who was trying to stand up for herself, and since she knew administration wouldn't help at all. A student who is a couple years older than me also remembers that she and her friends, while just sitting at the table in the cafeteria, would often get passed by the police officer on duty, who would stare at them, grab her taser, and then let go when she walked by.
What?
One of her friends would also get stopped repeatedly in the hallway when he was doing nothing wrong just because he was black and looked suspicious. In fact, administration has been so bad about choosing who they stop in the hallway based on looks that I learned throughout my 4 years that had I wanted to, I could have easily left the building at any time in broad daylight and nobody would stop or question me simply because of the way I looked and carried myself. Finally, I myself felt very uncomfortable having police officers at the school in the first place, especially now that they carry guns, and I know I'm not the only one.
Oh.
The Holden police station is right across the street. If there is...
So they're like, yeah, we don't... This is literally what she's basing her thing on. Again, an unverified email from some kid who clearly has an agenda. And instead of telling these kids, you're not going to come on our program and smear the police department and call them racist for profiling black kids in the hallway. And, you know, you're the good white kid who's speaking up. We get that. They would never question you because you're white, right? No, I don't believe that happens for a second. There's no evidence of that. But Lauren Salmon Garrett's out here and she's saying, well, this is what a kid said. So it's got to be true, right? It's got to be true because a kid said it. I don't know who the kid is. I don't know who the cop is, but it was said at a meeting one time. Therefore, it happened. This is madness.
I will as a daughter of a police officer, I will defend police officers in any case, but that does not mean that there are not instances where, things happen that are wrong because everyone is human. So I believe that if our district had the resources for both guidance and social emotional learning. I have a statistic somewhere in my notes here, how we are one of the bottom in per pupil spending on guidance counseling and things like that. I believe that if there was more
there's plenty of guidance
consistency
counselors
in discipline, that a school resource officer would not be necessary.
Thank you. Mr. Kaminski.
I believe that
let's take it. This guy's awesome here.
School is a matter of safety and security. I believe that there are many life-threatening situations that can emerge, and it's quite unfortunate if there is no professional, law enforcement officer who can do the job. Of course, it would be great to also have other school personnel who would conceal carry and be able to respond if a need emerges. That would be great. But again, the police officer is a professional. I believe the police officer does belong there. I strongly disagree with the previous speaker about any discrimination. And if there is such alleged discrimination, I would love to see specific examples and specific reasons why this behavior is considered to be discriminatory. Otherwise, it's totally unacceptable statement.
Thank you, George. I mean, amen, George. Vote for that guy too. Just like, okay, so can you show me the evidence? Can I see it? Can you tell me who it is? Why are we just taking unverified things as fact? It's ridiculous. It's unprofessional, and it's problematic. Okay. Now let's listen to what Linda says about this schools, about cops in schools. What does she say? Go to the 38-minute mark.
Full-heartedly for what they do on a daily basis.
Okay. And Ms. Long-Bellil.
I think it's reasonable to have a police officer at the high school. I think, though, that it's very important to make sure they and everyone else understands their role. It may be possible having them there could have a deterrent effect, but they should not get involved in school discipline issues unless there's some danger to somebody, some imminent danger to someone. We are an educational entity. We are not a penal institution.
Like what she thinks the cops are suspending kids? No, the cops are there in case like something bad happens. In case something bad, like if they're a fight, like teachers are not trained to little old ladies are not going to break up fights, nor should they. Like you can get sued for that. So of course we should have a law enforcement officer there. And what do you think? They're handing out suspensions?
And discipline should be handled from a restorative and educational perspective, and it should not be delegated to police officer. Their services should be seen as a deterrent to any possible problems and also as a last resort.
Mr. Kearney.
Okay, here's my response.
We should absolutely have a resource officer in the high school.
I agree.
There are 9 people in this room right now. There's a police detail outside for our safety. At every town board of selectmen meeting, there will be a police officer there. So why should there not be a police officer in a building with a faculty of over 100 and student body of over 2,000?
Makes a good point.
Kids who are bringing issues into school that might have trouble. We can't be expecting untrained teachers to break up fights and other things that they're quite frankly not equipped to do.
Great point.
So we absolutely need a police officer in school. It also works. The data has shown in Worcester implemented this 6 years ago.
Good point.
Suspensions and incidents in schools went down drastically. So it's the exact opposite effect that you would imagine.
Look at that.
I'm teaching at Shepherd Hill. We had an out of control student population. And then we brought a resource officer in from the Dudley Police, and kids build relationships with the police. They see them as human beings.
Perspective from a teacher. I like that.
The most important thing that we should be teaching our kids is that the police are not the enemy. They are your friends.
Thank you, Mr. Kearney.
Interesting stuff.
I mean, I'm not against a police officer at school, but at the same time, I don't think we live in a community where, I think we're very lucky. We have a great bunch of kids that go to our schools. So I don't see it as a necessity. But as Linda said, I think if we do have a resource officer, everyone needs to know their roles so that.
She's like, we don't need a resource officer in Wachusett because we have good kids, basically. We don't have that problem. First of all, it's the biggest regional high school in the state. Over 2,000 kids go to this school. Yeah, it's a pretty good school district, but there's going to be some punks there, obviously. I'm sure there's fights at Wachusett High School, right? I mean, at Shepherd Hill, we had our punks there. That happens. Even though most of the kids are really good, there were some punks. Not as many as I had in Worcester, but still some. Okay. I saw that. Thank you. And also, it contradicts what she said earlier, that the schools are this place where all this bullying is going on, right? All these horrible things. Kids are talking about shooting immigrants in the head. But the kids are also great, so we don't need a cop there. Like, pick lane and stay in it, lady. Good Lord.
And when they should, get involved in a situation versus not involved in a situation.
We picked Mac
I wouldn't
Jones.
say I'm for or
Did they
against,
really?
But I think we live in a community that if the police officer was there or not there, our kids are still very, very, very well behaved.
Oh, okay. So our kids are really good, so we don't need a cop.
And Ms. Salmon, Garrett, you have 30 seconds to sum up on this topic if you wish.
I was very happy to hear everyone dissent against me. It seems that it's a topic that I have a lot more to learn about, and I'm always willing to do that with any topic. I do feel we benefit from the fact that the police station is right across the street at Wachusett Regional.
Oh, okay. So that's fine.
And I know we have a very well-resourced and many very experienced police officers.
I mean, it's just amazing. Parkland High School was in a nice neighborhood, right? I think that's a fairly wealthy town. What about Columbine High School? You never see these school shootings happen in the inner city, do you? You never see it happen at like a school where 50% of the population's black. Every time there's a school shooting, all the victims are white. So like this idea that it's good. We're living in a suburban area. We don't need cops in schools. What are you talking about? Well, the cops are across the street. Well, yeah, it's great that they'll be able to get there to clean up the mess if a school shooting happens, as opposed to having one in the building. Jeez Louise. Did they definitely draft Mac Jones? Is that what they're saying? People are saying he's smiling on the phone, but all right. Anyway, I hope not. All right. So was there anything more to this we wanted to play? Yeah, the critical race theory part. Let me just when they ask about this. So let's go to the one about 44 minutes in. We're almost done.
Raise our children and create kids that can think for themselves and come to their own conclusions and their own opinions.
So this is about
and Ms. Long-Bellil.
So Barry didn't.
Well, honestly,
Barry's a nice guy. He didn't know much about critical race theory. That's not his cup of tea. Nobody did really, except for me. And they're not understanding. This is the most divisive issue. You better have an opinion about this. You better. And it was just kind of like me and George that were really read up on it. So let's see what Linda says.
It is hard to answer that question without a definition of critical race theory, because like Mr. Delacisi, I'm not entirely sure what is meant by that.
Well, you should learn because you're participating.
I do think that human beings are inherently tribal to some extent, and that we all have assumptions, conscious or unconscious sometimes about other people, and we all need to learn to recognize what those are and to try to get past them to see who the other person really is.
Okay, so there you go. As soon as I heard the word unconscious bias, I know everything I need to know about you. That is another buzzword from critical race theory, unconscious bias, that you're racist. You just don't even realize it yet because you have this unconscious bias. I have no unconscious bias. I give everybody a fair shot regardless of race. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't generalize me like that. That's racist. So chill out, please. Let's see what Asima thinks about critical race theory at the 46-minute mark.
We should allow our children to learn, debate, and think for themselves. Think critically. Again, I'm not an expert on this, but as far as I'm concerned, education is education, and we should allow our children to learn, debate, and think for themselves. Think critically and analytically. So just because someone is exposed to a thought or a philosophy or theory does not mean they're converted to understanding or believing in that theory. It only means that we need to teach our kids to analyze and to be critical thinkers. So I don't believe it's a threat. I don't think education is a threat. Exposing our kids to different theories and values and different cultures, I think only gives them a little bit more of a diverse understanding of the world. And
she has no idea what critical race theory is. She thinks it's thinking critically. That's what she just said. Oh, I think it's good that kids think critically. What? God, these are our leaders? Good Lord. Telling you, this is the biggest battle in education that you need to be on guard about, is critical race theory. Last thing, I'm going to play a little anecdote from Lauren. Let's see what she said
Let
about
them choose. Let them debate about it. I think it's a great debate. Why not?
what debate. What are you talking about?
Ms. Salmon Garrett?
I believe that critical race theory is a fairly partisan political issue, so I was interested to hear Mr. Kaminski bring it up. I do not know a lot about critical race theory. I had never heard about it before until I read it in one of our other candidates' platforms.
She's been reading Turtleboy, guys. That's what she's saying right there. So that's me. I mean, I read it in one of our. So that's good. We are, at least I'm educating her on that. That's good. We're all learning something. That's what I'm here to do, is teach, etc. So the Patriots drafted Alabama quarterback Mac Jones, who looked awful at these pro day things, missing everybody. I don't know about Mac Jones. He was never like a highly touted quarterback. Again, Alabama was supposed to have Tua and then Tua's brother. That was the order of succession in Alabama. So they had Tua, then he left a year early, and they were going to do 1 year of Mac Jones and then Tua's brother. But then Tua's brother transferred to Maryland, so Mac Jones became the plan instead of the stopgap. And yeah, he had a very good year, but I don't know about Mac Jones. I mean, we missed Justin Fields. He dropped that long. Justin Fields is the real deal. I don't know about Mac Jones. Okay, God damn it. Mike Giannetti's calling me. Should I answer, or is that a stupid question? We haven't had a Giannetti call in a while. Let's put him on. How come it's not ringing on my thing? What number is he calling right now? Why is he on here, but not over on my page? Am I in the wrong account? Did you just call me, Giannetti? What happened here? Why is it ringing on one but not the other? Did you call Clarence, Mike Giannetti? What do you want? Oh, God. Is he not answering? I don't understand. It called. I have my phone logged into Clarence, I think. I think I'm logged into Clarence on my phone. But it rang on here. You missed a call from Michael Giannetti. Okay, let me try that one. Michael Giannetti. This guy's got so many pages. Oh, we're Facebook friends too. That's nice. Yeah, I see he's got a cell. I'm going to be down tomorrow. Yo, put signs. Okay. You never showed. Was this a fake Giannetti? Is that what happened? I'm gullible? I just got a call from him. It said I did. I don't know. How am I gullible? It's a troll? What are you guys talking about? I don't know. He wants to blab about his sauces. Hold on. Yeah, I don't see him on here. I don't see anything from here. Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing from Giannetti. So I don't know. Anyway, it's probably a waste of time anyway. All right. Any questions you guys have on anything? I'll answer anything. It is him for sure. It's definitely him. Oh, good. He's going to stalk me. That's lovely. I'm a little bit. Can you wait till after the election, Giannetti? Can we pick this up after the election? I'm a little busy right now. I don't have time for you. Giannetti's the mascot mountaineer. Yo, put me on. I just called. Okay, Mike. Should I? You just called me back. Call me back on the freaking thing. I just called you. Good Lord. Active now? the heck? And that ain't a gun. It cuffs. I mean, it's a sex offender website. It says his whole family. Now stop. He's a rapper. I just got off the phone with Boston and Leominster police doing no more revenge shit on me, having my door kicked in and this and that because I don't like my kid put on TV. That's an account he's on. I don't know what any of this is supposed to mean. So just tell me what I don't know. All right. Any other questions you guys have? He sent that to me and then okay, gotcha. All right. If Mike wants to call in, I'm going to put the StreamYard link. It's not going to be a long drawn out thing. I'm going to give him a quick thing. No, I'm not following the Jason Correa. He's calling again. I don't understand why it's ringing on my phone. All right. What? What do you want?
What do you mean, what do I want?
How come it's not ringing? I just called you back.
What do you mean, how come it's not ringing? I have to put money into computer systems because you fucking find out where I am and get me arrested.
Can you guys hear him?
Now, let me talk about one thing, right? Not about the school committee, because that's already taken
Well, are
care
you
of.
going to vote for me?
Listen, you want to talk about Ryan? You bring people on that are fucking in mass mental patients.
Who's Ryan?
You know, you had your little buddy Mike on that didn't want to be known as him, so I wouldn't find out.
Who? Who's Mike Ryan?
Ryan Guerrero, you said I killed.
You killed someone named Ryan?
Oh, man, if you're going to play stupid, dude, really, you put it on the show. The idiot got on the show.
Okay, put it this way. When I adopt your son, can he go to the Wachusett schools?
Listen.
Well, he's your son now.
Do you want to know facts about all these people that have been saying shit?
Not really, no.
No, because you want to just assume, right, that everybody says shit is real. Some stuff is real, some shit is fake. But you want to be a fucking selectman, get my vote.
School
right?
committee member.
And listen.
Yes, I want your vote. What do I have to do to earn your vote?
All right, now, right? So you mean to tell me I can go around murdering multiple people and molest people and all this stuff and still be a free bird? I just beat a case 2 days ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that'll happen. It's called a quaff, but go ahead.
How do you know about all this?
Because I know how the justice system works. I know that douchebags like you, it's like a revolving door. They never lock you up.
Whoa. All right, you know everything. When's the last time I picked up a case?
I don't know. You tell me the last time. Did you get in trouble for
I
that?
had a clock.
What?
I haven't got a felony since 1999.
Congratulations. I bet you're very proud of yourself.
All right. I got pulled over 13 times and harassed by the police.
That's great. But
Right.
at the same time, you have killed in at least in the last 22 years, you've killed a couple girls. You got away with it.
Listen, I'll tell you, it's not girls, it's guys. You want me to tell you the truth?
You killed girls and guys? Okay, that's great.
No, guys, they try to say, not girls. There was a Lisa, naturally, yes.
Yeah, you killed her. And then who else did you kill?
I didn't kill Lisa. I picked her up at about 8 o'clock. I took her to the liquor store. We had sex probably right about when we got into the house,
Ew.
right? And when I woke up, she was dead. Whether she took something from what I had or before that, the pathologist said that I didn't give her anything. Now,
So
you
let me
guys
get this straight.
spotted them
She
pathologists?
died in your house and you were the last person to see her alive and she took your pills, but you didn't kill her.
No, she took my pills, but it also could have been that she could have took something that she had.
Oh, so you drugged her and somehow that's not your fault.
If I drugged her, Aidan, I'd be in jail.
Not really.
I got investigated by the homicide. You're smarter than state police homicide forensics. That's what you're telling me, right?
Yes.
I'm trying to talk to you normal, right? And
This is
you
normal
ain't
for you.
listening.
That's true. That's true.
You're talking about Ryan Guerrero, right? You want to know the real thing with Ryan?
I have no idea who Ryan. I know Ryan Waters.
You put on the show and her brother went on, maybe under a fake name, and it said Mike.
Who, Matt Senior? Matt Senior? Leave Matt Senior alone.
I don't even talk to Matt Senior. You made up a fake Matt Senior calling me. I never answered.
Well, you said you hooked up with him. That was inappropriate.
You know I never hooked up with him. So
I don't know that. You're the one that said it. Leave
Dude,
Matt
nobody
Senior
in your
alone.
block who's ever said I was gay, Aidan, so stop it.
Who cares if you are? What's the big deal?
If I was gay, I would say it. I have no problem with my sexuality.
Okay. So just
All right,
say it.
Are you gonna listen to who people accuse me of and who not?
Not really. That part is boring. Nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear that. You said I killed Ryan.
Let's talk about the school committee, right? Okay, let me ask you a question.
You want viewers?
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? What do you think of?
Hear the truth, Aidan.
What do you think about critical race theory?
What's that? School me.
Okay, so what do you think about Are you in favor of it or are you against it?
What are you talking? Critical race theory is what?
Okay, do you believe that we should be pushing for equity in schools?
Equity. Equity's money, right?
No, I think
Like loans.
no.
Loans?
I guess that's one definition. No, equity in this case is like the equality of outcomes. Do you believe that like we should be pushing so that like there's an equal number of Black, Hispanic, Asian, and white kids in advanced placement courses?
They've already tried to do that with busing years ago.
And so you're against it?
I'm against everybody getting a free right of education. Everybody should get the right education, I believe. That's what I believe. I don't believe that Blacks should get less education than whites. And whites are the minority now. So it doesn't matter.
How was your
So
education? What grade did you drop out in?
I went to get my psychology degree. I'm very
No.
very
What grade of high school? What grade of high school did you drop out in?
I got locked up before I could graduate.
What grade did you get locked up in?
9th.
So that's your high. Did you ever graduate from the 9th grade?
I got my GED in boot camp.
You got your GED in boot camp.
Yeah, they had a program in jail called boot camp.
Okay, that's great. So,
4 months of boot camp like the army, except you can't have a gun. They make you a stick and shit.
so you got GED.
I got my GED in there without studying.
Okay, great job.
I got all my psychology. I didn't even know what a 3.8 grade average is when I was in school until they told me.
Okay, so that's wonderful.
I didn't get my psychology degree because I didn't pass mathematics. I couldn't get past the second. I couldn't get past it.
The multiplication table is hard. I understand. It's not easy.
All right.
How about this? Pop quiz. What's 12 times 8?
12 times 8.
Yeah.
12 times 8.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me these
What's 12 times 8?
80 and then times 216, 96.
Oh, look at you. See, you're smarter. Wow, what's 7 times 7?
Aidan, what? 49. Why are you doing this?
Okay, yeah. See, you're smarter than a third grader. Good for you.
Listen to me. You said all these things about me. Why hasn't my daughter Joanne ever been in DCF custody? Why? If every kid got taken for yelling in the house, and when I grew up, mooning was just like the finger.
So you're just exposing yourself on a YouTube show. That's normal behavior.
It's normal behavior for you to say that you're gonna fucking mayhem my son.
Mayhem?
Yeah, it's called mayhem. You'll be seeing real soon.
What's mayhem mean?
You can't say you're gonna take someone's son and make him transgender.
Well, I'm going to adopt. We're not going to make him transgender. We're just going to respect his pronouns. What's wrong with that?
He can't choose. Let him choose, and then he can do what he wants. And how can you adopt him? He's already doing fine with Caitlin.
Well, because I want to adopt him.
You can't even give me the respect, too, that I left before DCF even made a decision.
Well, obviously, we can all agree that you're not going to,
Listen,
you're not going to get the kid back.
John Romolo, this was a 12-year-old thing that you found out all about.
We're talking about Romolo again? Okay.
This is old. This
Okay.
is old. I've
Oh,
already been through it with everybody.
Sold, yeah.
Nobody touches me. I walk around money chains. Someone fights me. No one does shit. I walk drive around all day.
Okay.
When you get seen, you're going to get your head punched in.
Ooh, that's scary. By
Not
who?
by me.
Who's
Not
going to?
by me.
By who?
Not by me. You have to have enemies. I mean, you run your mouth like crazy, bro.
Well, but that doesn't mean they're going to punch me in the head.
You fucking edited versions to DCF, and I have the real version.
Yeah, you're a snitch.
No, I'm not a snitch.
Yeah.
What did you just say you did to me? How do you know I have a cloth?
Because it's public record. I was just guessing, to be perfectly honest.
So then how come you didn't know when's the last time I picked up a case?
Because I was just guessing. I assumed you had a cough.
Because you know what Mass Accountability could have done something big, right? They fucking went through my car with no warrant, and they've been doing it to me for 2 years. They've been following me to meet dealers back when I was getting high.
I have another question. When I adopt your son, what sport should he play?
He's already fucking. Did you see him running up the middle?
So football, you think?
No, I don't like the brain injury stuff.
Okay, soccer. Yeah, the brain injury stuff. We wouldn't want that. That runs in the family a bit. But so soccer.
Listen, right? You want to vote. You want.
How about cheerleading?
You talk like an asshole.
Can I sign him up for the cheerleading squad?
Listen to me. I have people deep in what you're saying. They're not going to like this in the committee, so stop.
That's true. They're not going to like this. That's true. I need your support. Right. Can you come hold a sign for me?
I'm giving you a heads up. I told Diane, I said, let's stop, and I won't drop what I dropped.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You have no sources. You have no sources on me. I'm like a ghost. My real name isn't even Giannetti, you fucking idiot.
Hey, watch your language. This is a family show.
Oh, this is a family show?
Yeah.
What, you with a family show?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a family show.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fred calling me a fucking crackhead.
Hey, watch your mouth, please. Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Not okay. Okay.
Listen to me. You just asked me questions, right? I told you want the stories of everybody that came on there, right? In the next 2 days, what's more we can do? You'll get more viewers than you ever had.
Yeah. You're the reason I got viewers. You're right. Okay. You know, I gotta let you go, Giannetti. But have a great. Try not to hit anything.
You know what? Listen, that rude and decent exposure just because it got cropped down doesn't mean it ain't right, bro.
Okay. Good talk. See you outside. All right. Bye. Don't hit anything.
All right, King Grant.
Okay. Bye. All right. So anyway, that's that. All right. If you guys have any more last minute questions, ask away. Give me a couple more minutes, then we're gonna call it a night. Let's see. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know what's up with I got to figure out if we can rewatch that. I certainly hope so. We're working out the kinks in that. My web developer's on it. He knows what he's doing. It might take a little bit of time. We're going to get that. It's going to be awesome. Turtle Club is going to be great. I don't know what you guys thought of it last night, the people that watched it, the history lesson. It was just like a warm-up. But is Tony St. Angelo in jail? No, he bailed his ass out. So how do I join the Turtle Club? You can, it's in the Turtleboy store. There's different levels you can be in the Turtle Club. Go on there and just purchase it. Now, apparently some people are saying the checkout's not working. I got to get on that, but I will, I promise. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Clarissa. Appreciate that. I did see what happened in Vail, Arizona. It's pretty cool. A parent takeover of the school committee. The whole school committee retreated because all these anti-mask people showed up, and then they weren't there, so they were kicked off the school committee, and then the parents voted in a new school committee on the spot, and they voted to get rid of masks in the schools. It's great. All right. You know what? I got to call it a night, guys. I got to get upstairs, but we will see you guys all on Saturday for the live show. How do I find Brett's after show? Brett, you can put a link in the comments if you want, if Brett's still there, if he's doing the after party show. Just go subscribe to his channel, and we will see you guys all on Saturday night. Peace, Turtle Riders.